Ukraine is trying to goad the US into World War III. Okay, but first off, double honors to the elders and apostles. The reason we know Ukrainian officials are trying to goad the US into war is because that's exactly what they say they're doing. And also double honors, double honors to the elders and apostles of the millstone. Shalom to the one God, Israelites, which include Yeshua's children, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Indians who are oppressed together according to the book of Jeremiah 50 and 33, but to whom Soleil pertained to adoption, the giving of the law, the promises, the glory, and the covenants according to the book of Romans chapter 9. Okay, so let's start where we stopped. There is no ambiguity here at this very moment. A previous multi-front lobby blitz is underway to facilitate as illicit full-fledged US military intervention in Ukraine and therefore open warfare against Russia. To put it bluntly, a foreign country's representatives are doing all they possibly can to investigate the closest thing anyone on earth has ever experienced to World War III. And also, for example, the German government delivers weapons to Ukraine, okay? Which is also an act of war against Russia, basically, okay? At the forefront of this campaign is the President Zelensky, who's been transformed overnight into an international folk hero. His non-stop lobbying offensive included Australian address Friday towards some media outlets, ludicrously described as an anti-war rally in Frankfurt, Germany. Okay. This is where we are right now. Our description is ludicrous because the headline takeaway from the rally was Zelensky passionately condemning the alleged cowardice of NATO countries. For as yet refusing to launch a war against Russia, all the people who die from this day forward will also die because of your weakness, he engaged in his pro-war advocacy. Zelensky uses the same clever euphemism that has now entered heavy circulation, no-fly zone. At this point, everyone with a bare minimum understanding of what a US administered no-fly zone would entail has readily acknowledged that it means direct war with Russia, and by extension a radically increased risk of nuclear annihilation. Still, this is what Zelensky is calling for any chance he gets in his foreign through his style. For those unaware, his professional endeavors prior to assuming the presidency included a stint as the Russian separatist of Ukraine, as Vice once put it, not to mention his role playing the character of president on a comedy TV show. During an interview with CNN last week, masterfully choreographed from his underground bunker, Zelensky was asked what he would tell Joe Biden ahead of the State of the Union speech. His answer imposed the no-fly zone immediately. To dispel any concerns about the danger of his demand, Zelensky added that it does not mean dragging NATO into this war. Well, that's a relief, frankly, everyone is drawn into the war now, he explained. Unfortunately, if you actually examine the logic that's operative here, your relief should quickly turn to dread. Zelensky is saying that NATO, or in other words, the US, has already been dragged into war. World War III has already commenced, is what he's saying, in which case no-fly zone would wouldn't really be an escalation per se. It would just be a retaliatory strike in a war that's already ongoing, whether we like it or not. That's the argument. In an op generously facilitated by the New York Times last week, Zelensky chief of staff, also writing from the storied underground bunker, we were told, laid out the logic even more clearly here that we are calling on the West to impose a no-fly zone over Ukraine. We recognize that this would be a serious escalation in the war, that it could bring NATO into direct conflict with Russia, but we firmly believe that Russia won't stop at just Ukraine, which would potentially drag NATO into this conflict anyway. A no-fly zone would at least give Mr. Putin some pause. Okay. So basically, you know, let's get scripture real quick. Okay. Again, the Gog and Magog is Russia, and this is Revelation chapter 20, verse 8, and shall go out to deceive the nations who surround the four borders of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Khan, okay. So, you know, sooner or later this will all escalate, man. Okay. Ezekiel 38 and 1, and the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set the face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Magog, and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, thus saith the word of God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Magog and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks into their jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all the army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of which, you know, Gomer is the Turkish people. The house of Tugamara and of the North Dakotas, and all his bands and people with you. So basically everybody will be involved in this last woe, and woe means destruction, which you can read in the Apocrypha that there are 3 woes, okay? And the 3rd woe is coming quickly. Okay, let's get to it. So this is the last scripture in this video, and it's Revelation 11 and 14. It's the 2nd woe, which means World War I. The 2 Salaka is past, and behold, the 3rd woe coming quickly. Okay, which is World War III. So, you know.